Hello, my name is Samantha Zimmerman, and this is my final portfolio for Technology and Teaching and Learning. I'll be discussing my projects, which include a Voki avatar, a collaborative survey using Google Drive, a Powtoon presentation, formative assessments made in Kahoot and Socrative, a digital simile, an infographic displaying trends in technology, a screencasted PowerPoint presentation, and a Nearpod. As I discuss each project, there will be a QR code found in the corner of my slides. A QR code can be used to store data. In this portfolio, the QR codes are linked to my individual projects. You can scan the QR codes using a QR reader, which you can download on your smartphone or device. After scanning the QR codes, you'll be directed to my published projects. The first project was a Voki avatar. Voki is a free collection of customizable speaking avatars for teachers and students that enhance classroom instruction, classroom engagement, and lesson comprehension. I went to Voki's website and I created a presentation with a narration that I typed in. I also had the option to incorporate my own voice. Communicating with an avatar is easy and efficient. I think this would be a good tool to use if my students were shy and still not fully comfortable presenting to the class. This would help the students transition. It would also be beneficial for students with speech deficits. In my future career as a math teacher, I can use avatars in the daily bell ringer. I can stand in the doorway and monitor the hallway as my avatar explains the directions to the students. Avatars can be used for presentations and interactive projects. Overall, I would use Avatar to gain the students' interest. For instance, in a history of mathematics course, I could create my avatar characters based on that lesson and even play games such as who is this mystery Voki avatar and how is he or she important to the advancements of mathematics. Next, I used Google Drive for my collaborative survey project. For this project, I worked in a group to collaborate online in order to create a 15-question survey using Google Forms. I set up the initial document and invited other members by entering their email. Each group member was responsible for a section of the survey and the development of its questions. The sections were demographics, technology use, and interests and hobbies. I was responsible for the demographics section. This project demonstrated collaborative learning because it had an element of individual accountability. The survey would not be complete without each of our contributions. After we have finished our own individual sections, we looked over the other sections as well. From there, we shared our survey and gathered data from it. When analyzing the data, we discussed the results virtually. We drew conclusions and made generalizations. Afterwards, we were able to create a Powtoon presentation to share the results. I will further discuss that project on the next slide. Overall, from this collaborative project, I learned a lot. Specifically, I learned that there's a huge difference between collaboration and group work. When collaborating, each member makes an individual contribution. The team will not be successful unless everyone carries their own weight equally. Group work, on the other hand, loses this feature. One member may be doing all the work and others may just sign their name to the project. This collaboration project allowed the class to bounce ideas off one another and to work to build our own sections. Google Drive played a key role in this collaboration. Google Drive is a tool that allows you to store files. Using Google Drive enables you to share those files, and it promotes collaborative editing. I personally like Google Drive because I have access to all my files wherever I have internet access. This helps me to stay productive, and it's super convenient. Additionally, Google Drive saves your files automatically. When working with others, I can see the changes that they have made. I can also change the settings so where people can only view my files rather than giving them permission to make revisions. I think this tool also promotes collaboration because each person can have access to the files when it's convenient for them. We do not need to meet up to work on it. Furthermore, multiple people can be working on documents simultaneously, so it saves time. This is a huge benefit when working collaboratively with technology. Working with Google Drive and Forms gives people the opportunity to make presentations, spreadsheets, documents, and more. Therefore, as a teacher, I can see my students working collaboratively with Google Drive. I think I would also use it in my role as an educator. I can keep all of my files on there and share them with my colleagues. Additionally, we can edit or view each other's lessons. This is a great tool to brainstorm with. Overall, I think this is an excellent tool to use in education. I use a Powtoon to visually show the results of the survey. I created this presentation individually, although I use the same data as my survey team. Since the Powtoon presentation incorporates various visual items, I think this tool is very beneficial for the audience. People tend to remember things that they see on the screen more than just text. Powtoon comes with a variety of benefits. For instance, with this tool, I can create attractive and engaging presentations that visually represent information. Powtoon can assist people in conveying memorable messages in several fields from education to business and more. Another benefit is that there are free options. This online tool provides layouts, backgrounds, objects, and other animations that add to the presentation. I can also insert my own images or information from other resources. It is easy to use, fun, and effective. However, there are a few limitations as well. Some items are locked until you upgrade and pay. Powtoon also only lets you use one sound throughout the presentation. It is fairly straightforward, and their timeline creates an easy template, so the benefits outweigh the limitations. I can use Powtoon in my chosen profession in a variety of ways. I think this tool is more engaging than a PowerPoint, so I can use it to replace the PowerPoint presentation itself. For instance, my goal is to become a secondary mathematics teacher, so I can present things such as the background of concepts or historical figures in mathematics in a fun way. Secondly, the students in my class can present the results in the forms of a Powtoon presentation, similar to the way I presented my survey results. They can gather data and present it to the class, and this will be particularly interesting with statistics. This tool will be a good way for students to demonstrate their understanding thoroughly. Additionally, Powtoon can be used in the classroom as a bell ringer. As a teacher, I can pass out materials or take attendance while the Powtoon is presenting information to the class. I could incorporate questions as well and give them to students time to think within the presentation. Finally, Powtoon can be used in a flipped classroom setting. Powtoon would be a great tool to represent things in an organized, visual way. One of my formative assessment projects was created through Kahoot. A formative assessment is used by teachers to conduct in-process evaluations of student comprehension, learning needs, and academic progress during a lesson, unit, or course. Formative assessments help teachers identify concepts that students are struggling to understand, skills that they are having difficulty acquiring, or learning standards that they have not yet achieved so that adjustments can be made to lessons, instructional techniques, and academic support. The general goal of formative assessment is to collect detailed information that can be used to improve instruction and student learning while it's happening. Kahoot and Socrative are the two most commonly used in public schools because they can facilitate formative assessment for the entire class and allow you to easily download the results to see who needs help on what concept. I decided to create an assessment about the copyright law using Kahoot. The Kahoot website allows teachers to create quizzes, surveys, and discussions to engage students in group activities and competitions. It is free and can be used on any device platform or in any language. My quiz questions included, which of the following is not a fair use factor? And that was multiple choice. An idea in your head is automatically protected by copyright, true or false? I must give credit to government portals, such as NASA, when using content from their archives, true or false? Which license allows content creators to modify the rights for how the work can be reused? And that was multiple choice. What term involves the reproduction of any part, of a copyrighted work without permission? And that was multiple choice. Creation of a derivative work requires permission from the rights owner unless otherwise stated. Again, true or false. With Kahoot, I can create a fun learning game in minutes from a series of multiple choice or true or false questions. Additionally, I can add videos, images, and diagrams to my questions in order to amplify engagement. Kahoots are best played in a group setting, such as a classroom. Players can answer on their own devices while games are displayed on a shared screen to unite the lesson. This tool is beneficial because students are extremely engaged. Kahoots tend to get pretty competitive, especially since there's a setting that assigns points to each question, which depends on the student's accuracy and speed. As a result, Kahoot makes learning fun. I would probably use this tool to review material in my classroom. There are so many disadvantages, however. The students can only see the answers on their individual devices, but the question is projected on the main screen, so students must keep looking up and down. I believe this is a con because depending on the room arrangement, some students cannot see the screen as well. Also, some students tend to rely on clicking the answer quickly rather than thinking about the question. Everything just seems so rushed. Plus, some students read at a slower pace. Overall, Kahoot has pros and cons, but it can still be an effective tool if implemented properly and carefully. I do, however, prefer Socrative over Kahoot. I will discuss Socrative in the next slide in more detail. So Socrative was the tool I used to produce my second formative assessment. As mentioned earlier, formative assessment occurs before and or during the instruction. Its basic purpose is to guide instruction by letting the instructor and student know what concepts they've mastered and where they need more work. Typically, formative assessments are not graded, but they can guide instruction. With Socrative, students can share their understanding by answering formative assessment questions in a variety of formats, including quizzes, quick question polls, exit tickets, and space races. Once students launch the Socrative student app, they'll be prompted to join the teacher's room via the teacher's unique code. Students are not required to have student accounts. Similar to Kahoot, Socrative can be used on any platform. Once again, my assessment centered on the copyright law. Socrative has several advantages and drawbacks. Teachers can design their own quiz questions on any subject, and they can include as many or as few questions as they desire. When quizzing students, the teacher may reveal the answers to students at any time and discuss them. Socrative offers a variety of ways to quiz students. Its flexibility is one of the greatest assets, especially as free software. Some pros include varied answer types, so the questions can be multiple choice, true or false, or free response, so teachers can mix up the format when quizzing students. Furthermore, multiple choice questions can be programmed to have more than one answer, giving teachers even more variety to work with when making quizzes. This versatility allows teachers to use Socrative for any subject, from English to math. As a future math teacher, I can upload screenshots of math problems to retain any formatting that would not be possible to type out, such as fraction bars.